Salakia. Second Esdras 8. Oh, Salakia's first Esdras 8 and 82. And now, O our power, what shall we say, having these things? For we have transgressed thy commandments, which thou gavest by the hand of thy servants, the prophets, saying. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakawadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Israel, the Ruwal and Shalom, to the Akim, Akwathium, and the speckled birdless in your learning. Shalom. Coming to you again on another fucking freezing cold day here in the Northeast. First Esdras 8 and 9. For we have transgressed, Salaki, it's 8 and 82, Salaki. For we have transgressed thy commandments, which thou gavest by the hand of thy servants, the prophets. So we know right now, the 11th hour is teaching the new covenant. Okay. And nobody wants to listen. Nobody's listening. Okay. All of these men of great wisdom. Okay. If you want to call it that. All right. Because fear is the beginning of wisdom, man. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, man, and understanding and getting knowledge. All right. And, these men that say that they're wise, that you need to listen to them, are not listening to sound instruction. Okay. If you're continuing to deny salvation, okay, you're denying the salvation that was sent by the Most High Himself. Okay. And He sent His prophets to give that understanding. All right. When you go back to the time of Noah, okay, Noah said, the people were like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you building an ark? Well, the Most High told me to. He said He's going to flood this place and kill everybody. Nobody believed it. All of these men, I'm sure there were men of wisdom around, that didn't even consider that what this man was saying, calling him a drunk and all kind of other shit. You know what I mean? Bad mouthing him. It's the same thing, man. There's nothing new under the sun. So going into the time of Moses, when they came out of Egypt and he went up to talk to the Most High, the people were pissed off, murmuring, we should have stayed in Egypt. We were better off. This man has led us out here to die. And, let's make a God of gold and silver, and worship that God so that we can get some favor, because that's where they thought that their favor came from, was the worship of these heathen gods. Okay. So at the end of the day, these men that are teaching right now, these men that are teaching the new covenant, I know this lady is not going to fucking pull up right next to me. These men that are out here teaching the new covenant, okay, are in the same position as the men that were telling you that it was going to flood. The same men that were telling you to come out, we're going to leave Egypt, it's going to be tough. You know what I'm saying? The same men that said, when you see the armies come past Jerusalem, flee to the wilderness. Okay. These same prophets during the time of the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, these same prophets were telling their people to get right. Okay. And these same prophets were going to come back in their lots at the end of days and tell the children of Israel that the only way that they're going to be able to get out of the hell that's coming is through the teaching of the new covenant. So the same people are doing the same thing, man. They're these men of supposed wisdom, these Levitical priests Okay, and the brother went into that. It was beautiful. He talked about the Levitical priesthood and the Davidical priesthood. So the house of David would come last, the apostles last, and teach the new covenant. Okay, but our people are still caught up in the respecter of persons. Okay, so a lot of our people are respecter of persons, man, instead of trying to get understanding. That's why it tells you, the scriptures tell you to study to show thyself approved. Okay, all right. So Second Ezra 1:5. Go thy way and show my people their sinful deeds and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me, that they may tell their children's children, because the sin of their fathers are increased in them, and they have forgotten me, and have offered unto strange gods. There's a respecter of persons. You're exalting men over the Most High and His Son. Am not I he that brought them out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me unto wrath and despised my counsel. So the Most High is really, when he sends these prophets out to tell you that it's getting ready to get, it's what we know, that the first hour, the third hour, the sixth hour, the ninth hour, they told you that it was going to get bad. The 11th hour, even, we teach that too. We're teaching you prophecy. We're telling you that America is finished. They just attacked Venezuela. They're saying that Maduro's been captured. Okay. And it's like, well, you just kidnapped a fucking president of a sovereign nation, man. You just kidnapped him. You didn't arrest him. You didn't have a warrant for an arrest. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like, what the fuck are you? See, this is where America probably is bit off more than they could fucking chew. Okay, because they do these, and I hate to get off the subject, but we understand we understand that United States or America go into, just like they did Libya. They try to do it in Syria. They did it in Iraq. They go in, they take out the head, okay, the president and his followers. They destabilize the country. They go in and they steal the fucking natural resources. Okay, it's a playbook that can be seen by the average individual that doesn't even understand the government. You can see what the fuck they're doing. Okay, so everybody, all these other nations are seeing what America is doing, and they know, just like Canada. Canada knows that Trump was trying to come into Canada and take over, trying to make it a 53rd state or some shit like that. You know, it's like, come on, man. If you can't understand that all hell is getting ready to break loose, this shit is getting ready to get fucking bad. It's getting ready to get bad, and and you got people denying. You have people denying salvation. Okay, you got these men out here telling you that they ain't allowing anybody else into their camp, so they're denying the kingdom of heaven to people. Great millstone. We're going to deny you the kingdom of heaven. We don't want nobody else with us anymore. We're done. We're not taking in any new members. That's not how salvation is set up, bro. The Lord said, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. Okay? So they can't shut the kingdom of heaven up. They can only shut it to themselves when they do these things. You see? All right, and that's in a whole nother video. All right. All right. Second Ezra 1:10. Many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down. So many kings, and just like throughout history, we went into captivity after captivity, but he always took those nations down and got us out of the captivities. Okay, just like there's nothing new under the sun here in America. What is happening? America is falling the fuck apart right now. America is finished. They have an unwise king. They have him on on record saying that this may be our final, that might have been the final Christmas here in America, which we don't celebrate the shit anyways. But at the end of the day, you know, who gives a fuck? I'm glad that he said it, because that means that the kingdom is going to come real soon. Because when they shut this place down, and they're going to shut it down, the only motherfucking way that you're going to get out of this thing is if you have the Tawah, man. And you don't have the Tawah just because you know the name and just because you've been teaching the curriculum. Okay? You just don't. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be all over the place with this lesson, man, you know, for the most part. But it's going to make sense. Trust me. All right? So let me grab something here. Yeah, let me get this 2nd Esdras 5 and 1. I'll read down to 3. Yeah, I think I'll grab that too. All right. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. Why are we telling you that the only way that you're going to get out of this? It said that let me read that again. That they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great numbers. There's a small number of people that are going to come in and believe that they're in the new covenant. Just like there's a small number of men right now that are standing 10 toes saying that we are in the new covenant. And a whole lot of these people that are denying salvation are not going to have the Tawah. They're not going to make it through this tribulation that's coming, man. Okay? That's what the book of Matthew, immediately after the tribulation. Okay? Then you're gonna know who the hell the elect are, man, because they're the only ones that are gonna be standing up. They're the only ones that are gonna be taken out of here right before those thermonuclear bombs go off. And the brother asked me for that precept yesterday. I had put my video up. What was that? Just the day before yesterday? I think 2 days ago. And the brother asked me, it's Revelations the 15th chapter. When we're taken up into the chariots, okay, that this is, those that are going to be taken are those that have denied the covenant, man, the new covenant. You denied the blood of a Mashiach Yahushua. Okay, that's what you're doing right now. You're denying salvation. So you're going to be judged according to that which you keep, and that is the law. You're trying to keep the law. We can't keep that, man. We can't keep the fucking law. We can only walk in it, okay? As far as not going against the high holy days, not going against the dietary laws, okay? All right? Those are things that should be in your inward parts right now, man, if you have accepted that you are in the new covenant. That's something that you can just walk through life and understand that you're not supposed to do certain fucking things, man. Okay? You know, a lot of you guys ain't getting that, man. All right, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest. And this is, we're talking about during the time of the Greeks. Okay? The iniquity increased then, okay? When the wicked were given control of the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, during the time of the Greeks, we know that the wickedness increased. Okay, and today, Jesus, and the land that shall see is, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest. Okay, so we're talking about right now, man. You see all the murders taking place, people killing their babies. I seen a video not too long ago. A young man was asking where his babies were at, and the girl just wasn't, I don't know what the conversation was, but the man ran into the house and they had a camera inside the house, and he found his babies in the fucking oven cooking. This bitch put her. This is a black woman put her babies in the oven and cooked them and shit. You know, and we hate to be brutally honest like this, man. But at the end of the day, you got to understand when we tell you that the movies, the zombie movies, the like the movie Blackout, I think it's called. You know, where the men take women and they just raping them and shit. You know, I mean, some of these movies. Oh shit, what was the name of that movie with Jason Momoa in it? Matter of fact, let me look that up. Y'all need to watch this shit, man, because this joint, boy. Yeah, this is it's a pretty it's a pretty hard movie, man. Slovakia. Can't remember the name of it. Um, oh, it's called The Bad Batch. Yeah, yeah, The Bad Batch. Hey, man. Yeah. All I'm gonna tell you is, man, it's a tough joint, bro. Okay. All right. I'm gonna jump over here to 41. There's a second Ezra 5 and 41, and I said, behold, O our power, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved till the end. What I just get done saying. Those that are standing 10 toes, that they're in a new covenant, they're preserved until the end. Okay? And what shall they do that have been before me, or we that be now, are they that shall come after us? Okay? Those that are preserved until the end. All right? You see? Who's preserved? Who's going to be preserved till the end, man? Okay? The prophets and the believers. Okay? The apostles last. All right? The 144,000 that are going to believe on the new covenant. Those men from the 12 tribes, the 12,000 men from the 12 tribes, and the innumerable multitude. Okay? A large number of people that are going to believe on this new covenant. Those are going to be those people that are preserved. Like I said, the book of Matthew goes into immediately after the tribulation. Matter of fact, let me grab that. Salakia. My old brain can't remember everything. I know it's in the book of Matthew. It's 24, I believe. Let me see here. See if that's yep. Matthew the 24th chapter. All right, Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from the heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming with great power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together the elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Okay, like I said, all right, those that are going to be preserved are those that are going to come into the covenant. All right. It's not going to just be it's not going to be a bunch of niggas that deny the new covenant, man. It's just it don't work like that, man. That's not you're not showing faith when you're telling people that you got to wait till your Howard shot comes back, okay, with the chariots, with the angels. That and he said, "I'm not coming to bring peace. I'm coming to bring a sword." Okay, and when he comes back, he is not going to be he is not going to be allowing people to exhibit faith. He said, am I going to find it when I get here? Am I going to find faith on the earth when I come? Okay? And that faith that he's talking about are those that are going to be in the new covenant, those that have accepted that they're in the new covenant, that accepted and believed on the blood of Mashiach Yahushua. It's not going to be, it's not going to be a fucking moment for you. You're not going to have a moment to accept the new covenant when Yahushua shows up. When he breaks them fucking clouds open, I'm telling you right now, if you don't have, matter of fact, it's even before he cracks the clouds open, when he allows the left hand or Esau, the so-called white man, to lift that sword up and start putting our people to death on this side. If you don't have the why, you're probably gonna get fucked up. You're going to die. You know, if you don't die in the melee that is coming, that's called civil war, race war, okay, martial law, foreign troops on our soil that don't give a damn about you. Okay, they want to kill you. These boy, listen. Have you seen some of the videos of the Russian soldiers? They'll see it. They'll see somebody. They'll go up to them if they're Ukrainian. They don't know if they might be a Russian. They go and they look and see. Oh shit, he got on some nice boots, some nice days. They rob him. They kill him. That's what they're coming for. The loot. They're coming over here to loot this fucking place, man. Okay. So they don't care. I just watched that movie Civil War. You know, the white boy talking about what kind of American are you? He was going to kill all of them. He didn't give a damn if these two white people or these three white people were from America. Oh, I'm from Jersey. I'm from Pittsburgh. Where you from? Venezuela. Pow. You know, he was going to kill all of them. But that's just the spirit that is going to be on a lot of these people, man. A lot of these damn people are going to have spirits on them, and the Most High is going to put those spirits on them and allow them to appease the will, just like the men that are going to receive spiritual power. Okay, the Most High is going to put a whole nother spirit on these men, man. Okay, you got to understand that, man. You know, I mean, yeah. All right, Second Esdras 8 and 50. For many great misery shall be done to them in the latter time, shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. All right, you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen to, and it ain't even these men, man. These men are just the mouthpiece for the Most High. This is when the Most High is telling you through men that the new covenant is active and valid, and then these same men that say they're speaking for the Most High Yahweh, okay, by Hashem Yahushai, are saying, no, we're not. That's not what the scriptures say. And they're actually really not doing that. They're just calling brothers bad names, man. They're putting bad names on brothers, man. You know, they're calling brothers demons and bug outs and assholes and different things of that nature. Okay. But they are not using the scriptures to show us, matter of fact, to show anybody, not even those that are in Israel, that what we are teaching is wrong. They're just calling people Salaki. They're just calling people demons, bug outs, and assholes. They're not using the scriptures to show you where these demons, these bug outs, these assholes are going off, or where they're wrong. Okay? Where are your precepts at to tell us that what we're reading is wrong? Okay? So out of pride, like I just read, for many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time, that shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Okay? That's what a lot of these men are doing. They're walking in great pride because they have a seat. They're sitting in a seat, okay? All right. They're sitting in a seat of authority and of power. And for them to give up that seat, they would have to humble themselves. Okay. And they're not willing to do that. They're not willing to humble themselves and say, hey, these guys are right. And like I always say, we're not trying to tell you to give up. We're not telling you to come over here to follow us. We're trying to tell you to teach the new covenant to your congregation so that we can get the fuck out of here. Okay? All right? We don't need you to come. We don't need you to come under any authority that we have. We don't have no authority. Well, we do actually. Okay? When you go into the Ark of the Covenant, has the tablets in it, the golden bowl of manna, and Aaron's rod. But Aaron's rod represents authority. Okay, so we've been given the authority to teach the new covenant. Okay, we are trying to tell you that if once you come into the new covenant, then you obtain that same authority. You understand? You've been given the authority to teach it. Okay, and since you have not come out of that prideful state, since you do not want to humble yourselves and say, okay, these brothers are right. Okay, we're going to help. We're going to help grow the understanding of the new covenant. No, we're not going to do that because we don't want to give up our power. We don't want to give up our seat. But you're not giving up anything. Okay, the Most High said, "He that hath, and you don't do his will, he that hath, I'm gonna take it away and give it to another." Okay, so a lot of these men are going to start to. A lot of these men are really going to start to wither, man, because of their pride. All right, because here is it's getting. It's getting it's getting to the point where the Most High has to slack it, y'all. Shit. It's getting to the point where the Most High has to move some things. Okay, the Most High has to move some things, man. Because the point that we're at right now with America going into Venezuela, we know that Russia and China were supposedly going to come to their aid, but I don't know what the fuck happened. I believe that Russia and China have troops in Venezuela, and they're keeping certain areas from being taken over by the American troops that are there. But Iran declared war on America. I'm assuming that something major is going to take place between Iran and Israel. Okay, not the Israel of the Most High. Okay, get that understanding. Salakia, y'all. I don't fuck. Man, I need some fucking air, bro. It's colder than a motherfucker out, but I need some fucking air. So we know that yeah, put that up a little bit. It is fucking cold air coming in. We know that what is getting ready to take place, these wars, rumors of wars, all hell is getting ready to break loose. They've been having different earthquakes. I think there was one shit, was that in Mexico? Said there was an earthquake in Mexico, 7 or 6.7, some shit like that. Mexico City. We know that these things were going to take place, but the end is not yet. But we understand the time that we're living in. We see the temperature in the room, basically, or so to say, is going up. Okay, the temperature in the room is going the fuck up. And we know that something major is going to take place here in the United States because they have to collapse this economy. And once they do that, and these people are on the streets, and it gets violent, which is, we know it's going to get violent. Um, um, Things are going to take a turn for the worse, man. And the new covenant just, it has to be it has to be acknowledged by the masses. Okay, it has to be acknowledged by the masses. So these men that are walking in great pride, okay, all right, those miseries, those great miseries that are going to overtake the people, man, are coming. Okay, and the only way that you're going to get out of it is in the new covenant, and that's why something has to happen in Israel in order for that to take place, because it has to be acknowledged and it has to be taught on a large scale. Okay, and therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish, for when they had taken liberty. Okay, don't concern yourself about these people that denied the new covenant. They had their opportunity. They walked in their liberty. Okay, which is the understanding of the curriculum. When the new covenant was taught, they denied it. Okay, all right. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of His law, and forsook His ways. Okay, now we ain't in the new covenant, nigga. Okay. Moreover, they have trodden down His righteous. You demon, you got a new covenant demon. And David, you a bug out. You a damn demon. That's what they did, y'all. All right. They have trodden down His righteous. Okay. The only way that you can understand the scriptures uh, uh, is if the Most High allows you to. Okay. So when you came in at the first hour, the third hour, the sixth hour, the ninth hour, we taught the curriculum. Came in at the 11th hour, I learned the curriculum. I taught the curriculum. And then when the new covenant was presented, I said, yay. I said, yes, I am in the new covenant. I didn't call brothers demons and bug outs and assholes. That's just not my character any goddamn way. You know? Even though these brothers ain't teaching the new covenant, I'm not gonna call them demons, bug outs, and assholes. I'll tell you that they stay simple as hell. You know what I'm saying? They simple as hell, and the Most High is gonna kill their ass. It's simple as that, man. Okay, all right. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High. Okay, when the 11th hour started teaching, what did they do? They murmured. Okay, the Most High allowed these men to get the understanding of the new covenant. Okay, through the Spirit, because they were trustworthy. All right, they were righteous. Didn't it just say that? Let me read it again. All right, moreover, they have trodden down His righteous. These men that were trusted by the Most High to teach the new covenant. Okay, to be given that authority, so that they can go to the Jews. That the most and the Most High Himself, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, knew that these men were going to despise it. He knew that they were going to reject it, because they were the same ones that rejected Yahweh Shai when He came the first time. Okay? When He came down here, they rejected it, and then they killed Him. Then they killed his apostles, man, His prophets. You see? All right. And said in their hearts that there is no God, yea, and that knowing they must die. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it was not His will that men should come to naught. It wasn't His will that these men should die, but that was the order. That's what had to happen. It's the will of the Most High. I have to show my people that I can take a small number of men, okay, to bring down a nation. He did that through the curriculum. Okay, these men were out here speaking in the Spirit. They were speaking the judgment. Okay, and then the new covenant was being taught. And now those men that were speaking the judgment, that had that liberty, they walked in that liberty, and they had the opportunity, okay, to make a choice for themselves and not be respecters of persons. And we need to make that fucking clear, because if you're going around and being a respecter of persons, and you're standing in front of somebody, okay, to protect them, all right, then the Most High he's gonna kill your ass too, okay. If I see that somebody is doing something unrighteous, if somebody's doing things that they ought not, you know, I know little Pookie been out here robbing people, but that's my dude. I got a lot of respect for him. When somebody comes to shoot little Pookie, I'm not going to jump in front of that motherfucker, man, and try to save his life. Okay? I'm not doing that, because he shouldn't have been out here robbing people. He just robbed the wrong one. And that's what's going on. You brothers are robbing the Most High. Okay? You're destroying people. You're destroying the Most High's people, man, by continuing to perpetrate the lies that you're selling, man. That you're not in the new covenant, but the scriptures are clear. Okay, so anybody that wants to jump in front of you to try to save you, okay, to continue to help you to perpetrate that lie, they're gonna die right along with these men. Okay. But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. You see? Okay. Right now, with the new covenant, that's a preparation for life. Okay? You're being preserved through the new covenant for life, man. Not to die on this side and be taken up out of here in the chariots. Okay? Given a new body and reigning with Yahweh Shah for 1,000 years. Okay, let me read it again. But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. Then answer I and said, Behold, O our power, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou shalt begin to do in the last times. But at what time thou hast not showed me. Okay? So but they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. See, you came in, the first hour, okay, apostle or prophet Bivin Salakia, okay, came in at the first hour. King Masha, okay, Yaiquab, all right, the third hour, Tahar, Gabar, Ramlab, Nate, okay, General Yohana, all right, the 6th hour, Malcolm, okay, brothers in that Amawan Gabar, okay, the 9th hour, Manata Zakba, and different. Okay, so then when you get to the 11th hour, brothers like myself, Calm, Yahweh the Maccabees, there's some other brother. There's a lot of brothers you can mention, but these are some of the names that I'm pretty familiar with. So when the 11th hour came, those that came in at the 3rd, the 6th, the 9th hour started to murmur, okay, when the new covenant was being taught. All right. They started to murmur against the good man, which is Yahweh Shai, the man of the house. Okay. All right. So when they started to murmur against the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because these men were shown favor, okay, with that understanding. All right. We didn't get it first. Okay. So then the stain, like I always say, that stain got put on a new covenant. And when the stain got put on a new covenant, what happened? That they rejected it because it was appealing. Okay. So at the end of the day, these men, I'm going to read that again, but they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them. Okay. So they call on the Most High. They call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay. But now that the new covenant is being taught and they're denying the blood of a Mashiach Yahweh Shai, but still calling on a name, they're actually defiling the name. All right. Okay, that's why he said when I come and you say, Lord, Lord, you know, I've done this in your name and that in your name, he's going to be like, I don't even know you. Okay, so they knew the name. They understood the curriculum because they were in the field working. Okay, they were invited into the field at the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9th hour. Okay, all right, but they became malicious, and that's why the Holy Spirit will not deal with their asses. They went and denied the blood of a Mashiach Yahushua. Okay. All right. But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand, because the Most High is getting ready to kill some people. He's gonna make an example. He has to make an example of somebody higher up in Israel. Okay, and they're going to mock. They're going to be. It's probably going to be live, and it's probably going to be them mocking or denying the new covenant, because everybody's going to see that, and it's going to scare the shit out of people, and they're either going to run or they're going to come in. Okay, and it's most likely a lot of people are going to come in, and those that continue to try to perpetuate the lies, okay, are going to be made again an example. All right, that's I can see that happening. Okay, through the Spirit. 2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things. Okay, so like I just got done saying, measure thou the time diligently. Okay, so when you're getting into measuring the time diligently, you have to measure, like I said, the temperature in the room. And right now the temperature is going up, man. Like I said, with Venezuela being attacked, they said they have Maduro. Okay, don't know where they took him. He's probably on a military base, some goddamn where, with a fucking black hood over his head, getting waterboarded and shit. You know, ain't no telling what's going on, man. He might be dead. You know, there's a lot of things that could be happening to that man right now, man. But at the end of the day, Venezuela's been attacked. Them earthquakes in diverse places. The Ring of Fire. You got Mexico just had a major earthquake, and those things are going to continue. There's some volcanoes that haven't been active that are. I think there was a couple volcanoes in the state of Washington that are becoming active. I can't remember the damn name of the mountains. Or it might be one, but I know I saw that in an article. But these things are gonna start to increase, and it's already has. Like I said, Iran just declared war on America and Israel. Okay, and these people, the man that they have in the White House is a goddamn lunatic. Okay, all right, Donald Trump. That man is he's a lunatic, man. He's an unwise king, and he's getting ready to destroy his own people. And I was, me and my wife were sitting there talking, And I brought this up in one of my other videos, and how she, was talking about that, how these white people are so happy, and how they are becoming more ignorant, but they don't understand that it's hurting them more than it's hurting the people that they're trying to affect. Okay, and she said that, and I was like, that's true than a motherfucker. Yeah, I understand that. You know what I mean? You know, I said it myself. You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time, but when she said it, I was like, she's paying attention. She's paying attention. She is my news caster, though. She'll tell me about a lot of articles and shit that pop up that I might not see. you know, but that's us measuring the time diligently, man. Keeping an eye on everything that's taking place. Okay, layoffs. Okay, all the any food recalls and different things, medication recalls, different things of that nature. She's up on all that stuff, and she always tells me about it. So these are things that we have to keep an eye on, and we have to filter them through the Holy Scriptures so that we can understand where exactly we are. Okay, and that one major prophecy, okay, that is being used, okay, to deceive people into believing that understanding what the mark of the beast is, pertaining to Revelations 13 and 16, is, and knowing the name are going to be what gets you out of this thing, but it's not. It's the new covenant, because understanding the name and understanding the RFID microchip is not the Thawad. It's receiving of the Holy Spirit through the new covenant, the blood of Amashiach Yahushai, is going to allow the Holy Spirit to rest on you and put that Thawad, that mark of exemption, on that spirit, okay, up here. All right. All right. That's what you have to have. And that's what the angels are going to see. They're going to recognize that. All right. And if you do not have that, and they'll be able to see it, okay, whether you believe it or not, they're going to see it on you. Okay. And if you don't have that, then they're going to put your ass to death. Okay. All right. Um, verse 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. Okay. You have abused the ways of the Most High. That goes for all of Israel. But when you start going into um when you start going into those that are ignorant, okay, if if you're in ignorance, there's a difference, okay. So the difference between those that are in ignorance and those that are teaching, okay, that have knowledge, that have understanding of the truth, okay, of the matter, okay, that they're Israelites, okay, and a lot of those that are in ignorance understand that they're Israelites now. They understand that they have dietary laws, okay. Um, those that are in the truth, those that have been teaching the truth, understand, okay, like I said, the history, uh, uh, the laws and the prophecies. That's the curriculum, but you have to understand at the end what was going to take place. What was going to take place at the end was the teaching of the new covenant, because of all of the things that were going to start to take place. Okay, so all of the things that were going to start to take place, you would have to have the understanding of the new covenant in order to get out of it. Okay, that's why us brothers that are teaching the new covenant are we're not going to back down. We're not going to we don't give a fuck if all of Israel came at us, man. Okay, we really don't. because we know what the mission is. All right. We know exactly what the mission is, man. Okay. So we ain't going to give a damn. Okay. And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, like I read earlier, these men, they are loathing, are hating, okay, the fact that these men are teaching salvation. And there's nothing they can say or do about it. Okay. But that, I don't understand that, man. How can you tell somebody that uh uh we ain't protected by the blood of a Mashiach Yahushua? We don't have no salvation yet. We gotta wait till Yahweh gets here. We gotta wait till Yahushua gets here to get that salvation. Okay? But when Yahweh Bashim Yahushua said, "Shall I find faith on the earth when I come there? When I get there, am I going to find any faith?" Why would he make that statement? Because those that are faithful are going to come into the new covenant before he comes, man. Okay? That's where your faith is at. Okay? I'm going to enter into this agreement now. That's faith, man. All right? And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, of whom the world is created. Then I answered and said, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Like as a wave is greater than a drop. Okay? Verse 21. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. For with great labor have I made it perfect. So I'm gonna wake these men up. These men that come in at the first hour. They're gonna teach others. Then they'll teach others. Then you got these men at the ninth hour. They're gonna wake up and learn. Then you got these men at the 11th hour that were gonna be woken. I need to continue to wake people up, because these men, they're older. They're gonna pass away. So I need some more to learn. And then these people, they're gonna get older. They're gonna pass away. Some are gonna fall out. Some are gonna wither. Okay. So I need to keep on. I need to wake as many of these brothers up to the understanding, to the curriculum. Okay. And then the 11th hour, and I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Okay. These men at the 11th hour are going to come in, because that was the timeline. Okay. I need to wake these men up. I need to wake my grape up. I need to make that one grape of that cluster, okay, that plant of a great people. I want them up now, because this is the time frame that I have to get them woke up, to understand the history, to understand the law, to understand the prophecies. And then those that are trustworthy, I will give them the understanding through the spirit of the new covenant. Okay. With great labor have I made it perfect. Okay. With great labor have I made it perfect. So these men that you see teaching the new covenant are that great. They are the beginning of having that grape and making it perfect. So what are we doing? We're teaching the new covenant. We're teaching salvation. Okay, so that those that are going to believe are going to come in, and that's the Most High already has these The Most High already has, for the most part, these men, the 144,000, are already earmarked to come in and believe. That's hands down. Okay, and we ain't nowhere close to 144,000 teaching the new covenant. And that's why something significant has to happen, because a lot of these men that are still in these camps, okay, a lot of these men that are still in these camps have to be redirected. Okay, so the uh, uh, smite the shepherd and the sheep shall scatter. Okay, this is why we understand. Okay, the temperature in the room is rising, and something significant has to take place in order for that to happen. Okay, something significant has to take place inside of Israel in order for that to happen. And what is going to happen? I can't tell you what the Lord's ways are not my ways, and my ways and my thoughts are not His thoughts. Okay, so and understanding that we know that the Most High is getting ready to put somebody's ass down. We don't know who it is, but I think it's going to be live, and it is going to be you're going to understand. Okay, alrighty. It's going to be something. If it's going to be on a live, and all I'm gonna say is it's probably going to go viral. Okay, and they're going to be mocking the new covenant. All right, something is going to have to redirect these men's attention. Okay, all right. So it has to be something. It's going to have to be something dramatic. Okay, all right. Second Ezra 15:1. So speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh, our power. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity, okay, the unbelief, all right. We don't care about what you're calling us. Demons, bug outs, assholes, okay. We don't care, okay. Not the incredulity or the unbelief, because they don't believe. Okay, we ain't in the new covenant, nigga. You teach what you teach, and we gonna teach what y'all know who that is. You know what I'm saying? You know, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. All right, you see. Behold, saith our power, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Okay, the martial law, all right, concentration camps, no food, no job to get up and go to, probably getting kicked out of your house, your apartment, all right. The laws going up about being homeless. So if you're homeless, you go to jail. You see, it's all a setup. We're gonna take away their ability to provide for themselves. We're gonna make laws that you can't be homeless. If you become homeless, you're gonna go to jail. So in order for you to not become homeless, you have to take what? You have to take the RFID microchip. You're gonna have to take the digital currency in order to continue in this life. Okay, that's how they're going to get a lot of people. I don't want to lose my house. I'm going to go take it. You see? Yeah, and for those of us that understand that if once we lose our home, then the laws are in place to arrest homeless people. Guess what? They're gonna. That's why it says we're gonna be as pilgrims. We're gonna have to keep moving from place to place to place to place. All right, we ain't gonna be able to sit still. We're not gonna be able to go get a room for rent. All right, we're not gonna be able to do those things, man. You see? All right. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith our power, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right. So we understand them. And a lot of times, these brothers say that's them out there on the high. Well, it is. Because I already said they were hired to go out and do the will. Okay. But when the 11th hour started to come in and do the work, okay, and to teach what was told to be taught, okay, through the Spirit, these men murmured. Okay. And now we have to continually complain that these men aren't accepting the will of the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Lord, they don't believe in the covenant. They don't want to come in. What else can we do? You know? And the Lord said that okay, if you despise my laws, then I'm gonna remove you. I'm gonna put your ass down, man. I'm gonna take out your candlestick. I'm gonna put a hole in you, and that oil's gonna leak out, man. You're gonna run out of oil. I'm gonna take your oil from you, man. All right. You put out your candle, take your oil, and put your candle out. That's what's gonna happen to some of these men because they don't want to come into this covenant, man. So we continue to complain about that shit. We want to get out of here. All right. And therefore, said Yah, our Lord, our power, I will surely avenge them. What I just get done saying, receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Okay, I'm going to receive all these men that have sighed and cried and said that yes, yay, we're in a new covenant. Okay, all right, those that are innocent, the secret. We got some secret disciples up there. I just heard a brother. I ain't going to mention the camp or anything. We were talking privately. You know what I'm saying? But there's some brothers in GMS that are listening. I'm just fucking put it like that. I'm just telling you. All right. All right. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt and America. Okay. My people, just like I was saying earlier, okay, when you go into smite the shepherd and the sheep shall scatter. Okay. The Lord said, my people are led as a flock. If it were at all possible, the very elect could have been fooled by the doctrine. Okay, the differences in doctrines and not understanding that we were in a new covenant. If that would have continued, okay, if that would have continued and these men were able to keep these brothers from understanding the new covenant, then none of us was going to make it the fuck out of here. Okay, so the covenant had to be taught. That's why the 11th hour was significant. When you go into Matthew, the 20th chapter, the 11th hour, when they came in, they were significant. And the reason why the men started to murmur was because they found out these men had a different purpose. Okay. Oh, well, they came in at the last, man, to help. We already did all the hard shit. We've been out here in this field all fucking day, sweating, getting shot at, people trying to stab us, people throwing piss at us, come fighting us and shit, arguing, getting arrested. And these men come at the 11th hour, ain't had to deal with half the shit we've been through. And you gonna pay them the same? That's them murmuring. Okay? All right? That's them murmuring. They complain. Yeah. All right. So being as though they're complaining and they're still working in the field, okay, the Most High is not going to allow them to come into the covenant because they're malicious spirit. They have malicious spirits, man, about them. Okay, so a lot of these men that are leading these camps are leading the people to a slaughter. Look at Nate, all those men marching down the fucking street with cardboard shields and shit. I mean, it looks awesome. You know, it really is. It really is a sight to see. But at the end of the day, that's not what the Lord intended, man, for an army. Okay, an exceeding great army. Now we're talking about men that are teaching. A lot of those men probably don't even have channels and putting up videos, because you would see, with all those men marching, you should see thousands of fucking videos going up every day from IUIC, man. You should see thousands. You should see at least hundreds of videos going up every fucking day from them. You know, you see, and they're not. They wouldn't even be teaching the new covenant. So that's our people being led as sheep to the slaughter, man. Okay. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, or here in America. Okay, the land of Egypt, or Egyptos, which means bondage, slavery. I'm not gonna suffer them anymore, man. Okay, that's why the new covenant is being taught, because salvation means to be taken out of an adverse situation, out of the hands of your enemies, man. Okay, Egypt shall mourn. Okay, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment our power shall bring upon it. And that's what's taking place right now. I just mentioned my wife saying that these white people just don't understand that all of the hatred and bullshit that they're pushing out right now against the children of Israel is not hurting the children of Israel. It's actually really hurting their own economy. It's hurting their own. It's hurting them as a whole. Uh, uh, financially, okay, all right, and all that evil. And that's another thing she said. All that evil, okay, is not consuming the children of Israel. It's consuming them. Okay, so they're being consumed by their own hatred, man. You know, and that's what's taking place, man. The Most High is putting it on these people's asses, man, and they can feel it. You know, and the brothers, yeah, there you got some brothers out there that are want to fight, but you got a lot of them out there just sitting back waiting, just waiting to see. Well, I'm not gonna say shit. I'm gonna just sit back and wait. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're gonna let these people destroy their goddamn selves, man. You know, we ain't gonna get involved in all that bullshit. The Most High is gonna put it on their own spirit. Egyptians shall fight against Egyptian. They're gonna kill each other, man. All right. And they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with the fearful consolation, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another. What did I just get done saying? Okay, economy collapses. You niggers did this. Okay, and the next thing you know, there's going to be all kind of fighting, man. Okay, you're gonna have start probably with a pretty much a civil war turned race war. Okay, because you're gonna have white people, Edomites fighting against Edomites, and they're gonna turn on everybody else. They're gonna just start. They're gonna be killing everybody, even their own. Okay, but it's gonna be a lot of so-called blacks and Latinos that are gonna fall victims to the chaos that's coming. Okay, Israelites are gonna fall victim to this chaos, man. Okay, because a lot of them don't want to protect themselves. You know what I mean? Even though we ain't supposed to take up the sword. You know what I'm saying? But 2/3 of Israel, that's their mission. That's their position. Okay, the 2/3 of Israel are going to have to fight, man, for their fucking life, because they're not going to have the thawah. They're not going to have that mark of exemption. You know, when the martial law troops start running through motherfuckers and they run right past us to get to some other people. You see? All right. All right. So that for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another. March. That's a civil war, race war. For there shall be sedition among men. Okay, they're going to be going against their local, state, and federal government. All right. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. There it is. And the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because there's going to be martial law. There's going to be federal troops blocking. You can't cross a bridge in certain areas, and that's why I was saying here, where I live at. All right, the what we call a seventh ward. Okay, all right. When you try to go to a couple grocery stores that way, there's a bridge that goes across a river. Okay, like right now, I'm down at my county park. There's a bridge right there for if they try to cut through there and go around. There's bridges. You can't. You know what I mean? They're cut off. All they got to do is cut the bridges off. A couple other streets up here. You know, and the people can't go to get food. All right. So this thing, man, it's going to get bad quick. All right. See if I can get. I want to get anything else, man, before I close down. Yeah, I'll grab this real quick, y'all. I'm going to end it. Second Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn away from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be sold good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Okay, so when there's no more food, okay, a lot of these people are going to die from starvation, man. And those that have weapons, they're going to be going around and they're going to be robbing people for what little food they have. Okay. All right. So for many of them that dwell upon the earth, shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger, the sword shall destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. So when all hell starts breaking loose, okay, and people start to die, these people start to die in great numbers, okay? When they start dying in great numbers, what do you think is going to happen? There ain't going to be no funerals. There ain't going to be no funerals. People ain't even going to have time to mourn, man. Because a lot of these people, they don't understand that they're going to be running for their own fucking life. You know, you can be with 10 people, you know, that you've been with for a few weeks, and, you know, something might happen. You might run into some bandits, you know, a couple white boys, man, with guns, and they just start shooting at y'all, you know what I mean? Because they want to rob you. They want to rob you. They might want to take one of your women, you know. Um, there's a lot of different things, man, that are going to be taking place, and these people they think that this is going to be like the movies and shit. You know what I'm saying, y'all? This is going to be nothing like any fucking movie that you've ever seen. The scriptures are clear. There's not going to be a day like it ever. There's never been a day like the one that's coming, man. Okay, you know, you walking with 10 people and 3 people get hit and knocked down, and they there dying, suffer, or not even dead yet, but just help, you know, and you can't help them. You know, you're not going to, if you're a man of the Lord and you got that spiritual power, you know, if you got or you bunch of niggas with some guns that can shoot back at the 2 white boys, you know what I'm saying? Then maybe you can help them. But if you can't help them and they laying there suffering and dying, and you running down through the woods trying to get the fuck away from these crazy ass white boys, or Chinese or whatever nationality that might be, and you hear them in the background screaming and hollering because they're getting stabbed to death or some shit, or getting a leg cut the fuck off, because that's what's going to be happening, man. You know, this is not for the faint-hearted. The hell is coming to this place. All right, and that's why it says that the scriptures shall be the stability of our time. Scriptures are gonna be our stability. Okay, understanding. All right, these things have to happen. Okay, but it's not gonna be dragged out for years. It's not gonna happen that way, bro. This shit's gonna go fast as hell. It's gonna happen fast. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen so goddamn fast, man. It's gonna make your head spin. You know, we're talking weeks. You know, total shutdown, no food, shit. Starvation starts at fucking what, 3 to 7 days. You run out of food. The grocery stores will be out of food in less than a week. The shelves will be damn near empty in fucking 7 to 10 days. Okay. If the electricity goes off, all of the perishable food is done. You see, any food that needs cooked, any food that needs refrigerated, it's done. Okay. All right. And you go and you find somebody selling chickens, they're not gonna be selling it fucking cheap, bro. You're not getting that $5.95 fucking whole chicken, or $3 a pound chicken. Nah, bro. You might need a quarter ounce of fucking silver, man. You know. Well, right now, a quarter ounce of gold might be about fucking $300, $400. You know. That might be what you need to get you a whole chicken. To get a whole chicken, you might need a quarter ounce of gold, man. You might need a whole ounce of fucking silver to get a chicken. You know what I'm saying? You know, a day's wages, man. What did it say? That oh God, I can't remember the scripture. Slocky, y'all. A day's wages, man, for a certain amount of wheat and barley. So if you make $300, $400 a day, that's what you're gonna pay for a fucking little bit of wheat, man, and barley. All right, that's what's coming, y'all. But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakwadash. Again, I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Israel that rule well, and shalom to the Yakim, Aquathium, and the speckled bird listening and learning, shalom.